With KBF coming up, Chad, there are several distilleries who always drop fun new things.
They do.
And one of those is Dark Arts Whiskey House.
Ding. That's right. If you're going to KBF, that is the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, which at the time of this recording is very soon. And if you're watching this when this drops, it's also it's even sooner.
Yeah. Sold out.
This is a new thing that kind of happened a couple years ago. They're actually able to sell bottles at the tents there where you do your tastings. Exactly. And this is the first year the Dark Arts, I do believe, is going to be represented there selling bottles.
And this is a one-off, never replicated, can't be duplicated buff turkey
Never
blend.
Underestimated.
Never
I thought you were going to do some more. No.
16-year-old buff turkey. It's a blend of 7 or 8 barrels.
Yeah. We might have some corrections in the graphics down here.
I want to say it's 7 barrels, but I can't remember.
So, Chad, tell us, because people might be like, I've heard about this buff turkey thing, but I've just never really. I can tell you weren't finished talking.
I wasn't, but continue.
You were gonna do something like the proof or something.
That's exactly right. Proof's 118.8.
There you go. Give us the short and sweet of what we mean when we say buff turkey.
Well, there is a great message in a bourbon bottle you can go back and look at for
That's
that.
true. That was a question on
it
message in bourbon bottle.
So buff turkey is an industry anomaly to the public. It's one of the first times that the public ever got to hear about a distillery distilling for another distillery. So buff turkey it's the wild turkey mash bill. We don't know about the yeast. Could be or could not be. We don't know if it's their grains. We know it is 75, 13, 12, which is the wild turkey mash bill. Distilled by Buffalo Trace as early as like 2006, 2007.
Now, why did they do this? This is odd.
So they were going through their new still change and upgrading systems, supposedly.
Wild turkey, that is.
Yes, wild turkey. No one knows for sure. They were also expanding and just, growing.
They had a lot of irons in the fire and they needed some help.
Yep. So, but none of that's concrete fact. None of that is,
it's lore, right?
But it is lore. Lore's fun. But what's fun about buff turkey is when it first rolled out is I couldn't believe how many people were not wanting to buy things distilled by Buffalo Trace because it is Buffalo Trace distilled liquid. Mm-hmm. And it's been around for a while. BBC's used it. We've seen
Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Yes, Kentucky Artisan, I'm sure, have used it. Just anyone who has 75, 13, 12 mash bill. But those things take time to age, and it's been distilled for several years, over several years. So there's a lot of it, but people love it. So brands are now advertising, hey, this is what this is. It's become an open secret. NDAs are just kind of tossed out the window. No one cares. So
it just got too much talk in the industry because back when it was, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, it was getting blended into things and no one knew the difference. Once it started getting up to like the 14, 15 year, then that's when the buff turkey name was actually christened. I don't know who did it first or where it came from, but now we have a 16-year-old and typically, these are sold from different places as single barrels. In fact, Dark Arts themselves have several single barrels that you can buy or try at their tasting bar in Lexington, Kentucky, which is where we are located. This is one of the few times that a blend has been made, and it will exclusively be sold at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. So this is pretty cool. Price-wise, $2.99. Yeah, $2.99 and $300, nothing to sneeze at. But when you look at the prices of some of these single barrels, it's actually a lot lower.
Yeah, when NDPs,
non-distilling producers.
Yes, and not gonna name names or crap on anyone because not everyone paid the same price and not all barrels yield the same amount. So some brands charge $300 for a single barrel, some charge $4 and $5. But at $300 for a small batch blend of something that's curated for KBF.
That's a here and gone, never again type of thing.
Yeah,
is I would call reasonable in the world of bourbon. All right, so there's your history. Let's get to nosing. Some tobacco for sure.
Good tobacco, cherry tobacco.
Cherry tobacco. Swisher Sweets. But there's also a citrus pop in there.
Yeah, there's a very strong, super, strong orange zest.
Okay, I was picking up more as lemon. There's no wrong answers in whiskey. We always say that. What you get is what you get.
Like nice brown sugar.
Your good classic caramel vanilla notes, obviously.
Yeah. It's really just dense. It is super dense.
Super dense and a little savory.
Yeah, nose is a little lighter for me than the 118. Mm-hmm. So
let's go in for the kill. To your health. Hey, is that like a banana, sort of.
Yeah,
in the middle there.
A little tropically.
Yeah.
I was about to ask what's the fruit, like a star, but star fruit.
A star fruit?
I've never had star fruit.
Is that a fruit that's
it's kind of
more popular than the other fruits?
No, it's like a tropically fruit, kind of banana-y, but also citrusy in a way.
Okay.
So combine both those flavors. It's got a really nice floral bouquet, and I'm really bad at flower smells and scents, but it is very, on the palate, it's very floral, and I couldn't tell you if it's lavender or what, because, I don't.
Hydrangea. It's indicative of a spring day on the nose, but I feel like the palate's more like fall because it's more rustic. The woods, the oak of the 16-year blend is coming through, so it's more like Cabin in the Woods, not the movie, but maybe the movie if you like it. Oaky, a little smoky.
A little smoky, a little dry.
Cherry wood.
Yeah, cherry wood.
Cherry wood.
A little dry on the palate, but not overly dry. It's not tannic.
Oh, definitely, because I'm not really picking up the dryness yet. Maybe on the second sip. I will say this, because we've sort of been waxing kind of poetically about it. I feel like it's a fairly complex whiskey.
Yeah, it's definitely one to sit, not cover, but like sit, put off to the side, let it air out for 10, 20 minutes before you drink it.
And we will do that later.
Yep. And then have a couple sips and do what we were about to do, which is let it sit.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Let's do it.
While we wait, I got something to tell you about. It's our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. The t-shirt that I'm wearing, America's only native spirit, the Rye or Die. It's got more Rye or Die here on the back. You can't see it. We believe you. The hat that I'm wearing, the Glencairns, that we are letting rest right here. In fact, all of our glassware, new batch bottle cut candles, hoodies when it's getting cold out there for that fireside. Chats and drinks and more always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com.
And for us, let us $1 month, you can join Patreon where you can save on all that merch that Chad just mentioned. Access to barrel picks. You can even join us on barrel picks. There's another round with Chad Squared. You get first pull for Message Any Bourbon Bottle, so please submit questions there and so much more. And once again, that's patreon.com/itsbourbonnight.
All right, we're gonna let it sit even longer, maybe do a little aggressive agitation. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. Thanks for sticking around. Let's have a drink. I'm thirsty.
I'm Chad. Nice to meet you. Thirsty.
Oh my
god. Ooh. Waffle batter, maple syrup.
Maple syrup, yes.
Cinnamon brown sugar dusting. It has definitely opened up. We were talking off air about how complex it was and how I'm just like rambling to think because it's so dark and deep and complex, but ooh-wee.
It is so dark arts.
Haha. Taking a sip.
Oh, howdy. Yeah, I like the time in the glass. Every time I come back, like I got this is more reminiscent of the first sip I had. I had that break there, so it's sort of like it's a second first sip, if you will. It's sort of that, but now it's more like peach rings. It's a little more peachy. I think it's a banana the first time, but it's more like this peach brightness with that tropical citrus sort of still in there. But then it's always rolling into the 16-year age on here. So a little bit of tobacco leaf, definitely charred oak. It rested in a barrel, right? The little bit of leather,
a little bit of that savoriness that
which is sort of that dryness that you're talking about. It's not a killer for me dryness wise, which I think is great, but it is definitely there.
I'll be honest with you. If you served this to me in a blind, I would not guess this is. I'd probably guess it's around 15 years old, but I wouldn't guess it is a modern release. It's got enough of that range and funk that it's like, well, this could be from like the 90s or something in there, but at 118 proof, it's not too high in proof. So you could have something like, is this an old, X, Y, and Z?
Right.
Because it does have a vintagey vibe to it, and especially with some of that oxidation in there, like.
Yeah, and I was just kind of thinking about this, and I think this is what lends to what you were just saying, is this is a snapshot in time, in history. It's almost like when you taste something from a shuttered distillery or a distillery that doesn't exist anymore. It's like, that's why you don't taste it in modern times, because it no longer exists. Well, this distillery that made this, distilled this, still exists. It's called Buffalo Trace, but they don't do this mash bill, and they probably never will. I don't see any reason why they ever would again.
No, this. I mean, not saying that there's not more of this out there, but this particular blend or this, that, and the other, there's a finite number of these barrels. And majority of them are already bottled and sold. So the blend itself is a one of a kind, unique thing that, and which I love. I love things that, because unless you get several bottles of this, it will never exist again. And that's what I like about it, is for one, but two, it's right at my alley profile. Like if anytime I can just sit with something for like 10, 15 minutes and have to think,
yeah, it is a thinker. You know what I'm getting, since we've been talking and not going back, so the finish is really settled in. Donut glaze.
I can see the donut glaze.
On the back.
I can see the donut glaze. That's why I was saying that cinnamon brown sugar.
Cinnamon brown sugar. Yeah. So it leans into that. Yeah. So really unique. I love it because it is that snapshot in time. 5 years from now, people will be going, "Oh, remember when there was that buff turkey stuff?" Like, "Oh yeah, I got one squirreled away." It's gonna be that type of thing as time marches on. $2.99, nothing to sneeze at. That is a lot of money. You're either in that. That's either in your budget or it's not. Either you're one of those people who, I never spend over X, or you're like, if it's good, if it's worth it in the bottle, then I'll do it.
But I feel like, if you're going to KBF, it's a trek, and
it's vacation money, right?
It's vacation money. It's an expense. And
it's a souvenir.
The only thing I buy at KBF are things I can't get outside of KBF. So it might be one thing if like an Elijah Craig 18 drops by Heaven Hill, but that's not something I have to have. Now things that are only KBF are usually what I go for. So that's where I spend my money.
Agreed. I would recommend.
I'd recommend. I think it's great. It
matches my profile, and I would never be mad at this.
No.
I would never be mad at it.
As I like to say, it's got all the things that are good.
All the things that are good. All right, well, hey, that's where we better leave it. We hope to see you at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. If you see us, we'll be there. Please come say hi.
We're walking around. There's no booth, so.
Yeah, no booth. We'll be walking around with a camera, probably talking to people. But as long as we're not filming, come and say hi, shake hands, take a picture with us. We might take a picture with you. But that's where we'll leave it. Hope to see you there. If you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here, and we hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Dark Arts, for providing us, letting us have a little preview of this. Until next time, drink more Buff Turkey.